Hey there, gang. Fall is officially here, so it is time to get spooky. Let's see what fate has in store for us in Duskmourn Standard. Friends, opponents, folks who have seen Nightmare Before Christmas one too many times and just cannot decide if it is a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie. Welcome to Head Games. My name is Jetterex. Today, we're going to take our first look at Duskmourn Standard with a deck that I am calling Sheltered by Fate. So this is a green-white enchantments build built around our old friend Calix, guided by fate, who puts counters on creatures when enchantments enter the battlefield. Also has this nifty trick where it copies an enchantment if one of your enchanted creatures gets through for damage. What makes the deck work now in standard? One very important reprint in Ethereal Armor. Creature gets +1/+1 for each enchantment you control, and very notably gets first strike. We've also got Optimistic Scavenger, which is our new generous visitor, putting counters on your creatures whenever an enchantment enters. And then also Sheltered by Ghosts, which is part of the namesake of the deck because of how powerful it is. Not only did we play it a bunch today, we also played against it a bunch, so I think that the community has agreed that this is a very effective card for the cost. 2 mana, exiles a non-land permanent, gives the enchanted creature +1/+0, lifelink, and ward 2, making the creature slightly harder to kill. We have at least one instance in the videos today where somebody forgets how ward works, which is very bad for them. To round out the deck, pretty standard enchantment support. Elvis Archivist to draw us cards once a turn whenever an enchantment comes in. Spellbook Vendor to give us an enchantment every turn for the cost of 1. Regal Bunnycorn to give us a gigantic creature to put our enchantments on. And then otherwise, we're rounding out the deck with other things that fit in with the idea of the deck. So our auras include Royal Treatment, which isn't an aura itself, but it creates one and makes a creature hexproof, so it's a protection spell. Audacity is a known +2/+0 trampling, gets a card when it goes to the battlefield, or when it goes to the graveyard from the battlefield. Fantastic addition in the deck. Also running a couple of copies of Unwanted Remake. I'm not completely certain about this one, but it is nice to have a 1 mana spell that removes any creature, because there's some big scary creatures in the format right now. We've also running 2 copies of Enduring Innocence and 1 copy of Overlord of the Mistmoors as new cards that we're just kind of trying out to see if they work in the deck. Sneaky enchantment in the land base, 2 Valgavoth Slayers, just to trigger all those amazing enchantment things that we have going on. The deck is fast, the deck gains a lot of life, and it keeps up very well with an aggressive meta. I've been wildly successful with the deck so far on the ladder, and I can say that I think it does pretty well, at least in best of 1. So without any further stalling for time, let's get into the game so you can see how we did today. Let's play some head games. Spelunkenwort. We're going cave diving, friends. Let's make it happen. Okay, not terrible. We have a 2-drop creature, a 3-drop creature, the best spell in our deck, and another enchantment. So I think we can make this work. Let's give it a go. We will lead with the layer on green. And then on turn 2, we'll play Vendor and see where we go from there. A couple of different ways we might, what could happen after that. Also depends a lot on what we're playing against. I was going to say, there's only really one reason to play Thrawn Portal, and it's to deliberately hurt yourself. But why would you do that? Okay, another land's not terrible. Vendor. Because that allows us to both Sheltered by Ghosts and Audacity next turn. Which may or may not happen. Depends on if they play a threat or not. This is a red-white variant of the deck. I mean, it looks like aggro because we're looking at Demonic Ruckus here. A staple of the aggro deck. Here's the mouse. Lots of options here. This is the trick. Do I hold this for a enchantment trigger later? Or do I deploy it now when I don't need the mana? Okay, Hushwood Verge taps for both because we have a Plains. I think we're just going to take our threats out. And we're going to let Vendor put a Sorcerer roll on itself. I do not need another land. We're going to scry that to the bottom. $10-point spread between their life and ours. Removal does, or that guy doesn't bother me. I mean, he's a card advantage engine for them, no doubt. What'd you draw? Monstrous Rage does a lot of damage. Our opponent. Okay. Closes the gap. Okay, so Audacity is going to make our guy 2 bigger, so we're getting back to 6. Okay, Archivist. Audacity to draw a card. We're going to put the Sorcerer roll on Archivist. Get in for 6. Removal spell feels good. I'll get an extra draw off the layer next turn, provided my Archivist lives to draw me another card. Okay. 15-point spread between their life total and ours. They're playing enchantments too! But they don't have another white source, so they don't have their... They are almost certainly playing Sheltered by Ghosts, because Sheltered by Ghosts is such a good card. That's very cool. No blocks for us. Smart. So Enduring Innocence actually draws us a card as well as Valgavoth Slayer. I think that that's probably better. Okay. We're going to play this tap land. We are not going to do that. We do not need another land. We'll scry that to the bottom. They are probably going to play a pump spell. Oh no! That was a mistake on my part. I should not have let our guy die. I didn't have to let our guy die. I should not have done that. We're still in a very advantaged position, but that was a huge mistake on my part. We're still, like, very far ahead, but... Okay, they're going to Sheltered by Ghosts. They're going to target Enduring Innocence. And we're going to protect it. They're going to gain 6 life. Okay. Calix. Untap land. I'm trying to be very patient here. Okay, so I think we're okay. We've got Unwanted Remake to stop the Manifold Mouse. There it is. and pay the ward. If that's not game. Feather of Flight. Draw a card +1/+0 and flying. Have we considered this card? We have not. Good game. Our opponent's got a Pyro plan. Do you think they're a mono red player? Statistically speaking, pretty likely. I'm gonna try it. We just need to draw one Sheltered by Ghosts. And we're in good shape. Okay, Razorverge Thicket, Scavenger. Turn 2, we get to go second Scavenger, first Audacity. Put everything... Well, I might spread it out at that point. Second Harried Spear Guard. 2 damage to us. Bat is interesting. Bat is interesting. Okay. Bat. Audacity on the Scavenger. Counter on the Bat. Get in for 3. Even spread. 17-17. Next turn we get Archivist, Audacity. We're not blocking anything because... No thanks, friend. You can just go ahead and hit us for 2. Gotta say, already impressed. Our opponent's Pyro plan is not what I expected it to be. Dread Maw's Ire destroys an artifact when they hit. They are just playing with the B list of all these red cards. And still... Do you have another pump spell or a removal spell? Okay. 6 damage may seem like a lot. Okay. Hushwood Verge. Archivist. Audacity on the Bat. Counter on the Bat. All in. 7-point split, 16-9. Cacophony Scamp. Cacophony. Cacophony. The word is so hard to pronounce. Scamp's getting in. Deals combat damage to a player. You may sacrifice it, proliferate, and deal 3 damage. We're going to block it. Calix. Good night. March 9th, 25. March 9th, 1925? Oh man, are you 99 years old? This is a terrible hand. This is a keepable hand. Keep 6, ship the vendor. Or do I ship Calix? There's some pretty great tricks here with Calix, so I'm going to ship the vendor. And we're going to draw more cards. That's what's going to happen. I don't have a fear of losing teeth, and if you know me, you know why. Any target. That's a pretty cool card. Okay. We'll deal with the Bat, and if they want to do some kind of cool sacrifice trick to kill my Bat, they do some kind of cool sacrifice trick to kill my Bat. Talent pitches the bunny. Get in for 1. Second land. This is where it gets tough. Because if I play the Archivist, they're very incentivized to kill it, and I really want to draw a card from it. I think I have to. I think I have to play Archivist. See what our opponent's doing. Pixie. Play the talent again. Oh, that's so good. Yep. Gets in for 2. Okay. So tricky. We're in trouble. So I can actually shelter their shelter. I didn't think about that. I don't have to target the creature. I can target the shelter. Yep. Excellent. We're just playing a removal game. This is amazing. Here we go. Sheltered by ghosts. Do you have a cut down? You do not. I'm going to hit your shelter. Get in for 3. This is a fascinating game right now. Yep. They're playing white-black enchantments. It's very interesting. Shelter by Ghosts is so legit. Okay, here we go again. Okay. They're removing my shelter. Now we get to royal treat this archivist. Get in for 3, friend. Excellent. Okay. Scavenger. Ethereal armor on the bat. +1/+1 on the archivist. Drawing a card. So tricky. Another one. Wow. That's really something. It's amazing. Yeah, let's find out what happens when I do this. Cool. Okay, Scavenger. Ethereal armor on the Scavenger. Counter on the Lurker. Get in for 5. This is amazing. I can't get over how cool this game is. Pixie grabs. What? Do you pick up one of your own shelters? How did you do that? I don't understand what just happened. I fully can't understand what just happened. Okay, now we're standing and staring at each other. And they're drawing more cards than we are. Okay. Not feeling great about our position. That was very, they just drew, I think, 3 of their 4 sheltered with ghosts. I said the card was super good. And ossification. Excellent. Okay, they take the bat. Yep. And they get in for 3. I'm not sure I understand that choice. Except that they're trying to close out the game, so if they clear out the flyers, then we're doing pretty bad. Yep. Good game. Okay, I think we can get somewhere with this. So I need to draw some lands, but I think that we're okay. We'll start with a Fabled Passage. I know there are those that would say I should wait and not give this information, but not completely clear on how much that's really doing. So we're going to start with Vendor, and if they've got a removal spell, they've got a removal spell. Okay, 3rd land is great. So now we will try to Archivist. They've got a removal spell. Then we will put the Sorcerer roll on the Vendor. Okay. Bitter Triumph the Vendor. Okay, Astral Cornucopia. Do I get rid of that? Yeah, I think the answer is maybe. Especially considering that the other thing that this does is it makes Elvish Archivist harder to kill. Okay, now we get to Calix. We're actually going to get Calix out of range of a -3/-3. They really are incentivized to kill Calix, so let's put the Sheltered by Ghost here. Board wipe or bust, friend. Board wipe? They've got it. Oh! Amazing. Amazing. Our whole game plan shattered with a single spell. It's been a minute since I played against one of these decks. Gains life, draws a card. We are very falling behind here. Fight beside us. I don't think I can win from this position. Like, I really don't think I can win from this position. This doesn't really do a whole lot. Yeah, I mean, they just get to keep pumping out a 6/6, 7/7 every turn. I don't have the removal to deal with them. Sure, you gain a life. Well, I do, actually. If I draw another Sheltered by Ghost, we might be able to come back from this. Oh yeah, no blocks. That's fine. I don't care at all if you hit me. That's not how this deck works at all. Temporary lockdown. Yep, good game. We'll see you. I don't even know where to begin there. Okay, on the play with a playable hand. Bat. Might Caller. This is a little tricky, mostly because I don't know what they're going to play next, and it might be worse than the Might Caller. So that's how we're going to play it. We're going to Spellbender because now, next turn, yes, this is what I was afraid of. I had a feeling that's what was going to happen. So, third land, sheltered by ghosts on the Lurker Bat. Get rid of the Quest Caller. Sorcerer roll on Vendor. Is that worth playing next turn? I feel like I need other things to do, but I can also Bunny Corn and get another Sorcerer's roll. I'm going to keep that. Do you have a removal spell? You don't. Okay. Paw Patch is fine. Yep. Your guy's a 4/4 now. Again, totally fine. Turing Innocent. In with the bat. This Valley deck doesn't... I haven't seen it play with a whole lot of removal. So I'm pretty okay with it. Do they have instant speed pump, though, is the question. I'm gonna let it go. I don't think they can outrun me. Okay, Fabled Passage. Activate to get a Plains. Impend the Lord of the Mistmoors. In with the bat. I don't need another Bunny Corn. Oh, Fabled Passage works with Ruin Lurker Bat. That was an accidental combo. I did not do that on purpose. Okay. Can they go over the top? Gets in with everybody? Or just the 5/5? I think I take it. Alright, Calix off the top. Our opponent sacrifices their land, looking for another big creature. Okay. Okay. Bunny. Bunny. I'm not sure where to put the Audacity, if I'm being honest. Because I don't want to put it on the bat, because if they have a removal spell... Yeah, I'm honestly not sure. Moment of truth for our opponent. Can they get through my Regal Bunny Corns? So long, Valley. Coda 1424. Don't even have a name. Okay, this can go places. Very much depends on the matchup we're playing against. I would love to have a 1-mana aura in my hand, but I do not. So I still think it's worth giving it a go. Heartfire Hero is a good thing for us. Optimistic Scavenger on 1. We'll see what our opponent's up to. Playing with mice. Yep. Double strike. Gets in 4. Pretty excellent. Also very good. Okay, so we take out the Heartfire Hero as fast as possible because it is the easiest way to die. So, Sheltered by Ghosts. Get rid of the Heartfire Hero. Put a counter on Scavenger. Get in for 3. Emberheart Challenger just gets a counter, looks at a card. Oh, they're on that Scavenger life too. It's fascinating. 14-17. Gets in for 1. Okay. Options are I can play Scavenger and then Audacity and put several extra counters on my little Scavenger over here. And then I can play the tap land. Could also play Enduring Innocence, which also puts a counter on Scavenger and sets me up for future card draws. I'm gaining at least 3 life this round. More if I cast a single enchantment. Okay. This is probably the defining turn, because if they Sheltered by Ghosts my guy next turn, if they draw a 4th land, we're probably boned. Right? Right. So I think what I'm going to do is play Enduring Innocence. And get in for 4. I'm sure that their deck works really well with Sheltered by Ghosts. But is it the only enchantment they're playing with? Is that enough to play with Optimistic Scavenger? It's not, right? Like, but are they playing essentially Boros Auras? Or Boras? If they don't call that deck Ouroboros, I don't know what they're doing. Okay, that is not a removal spell. Here we go. Let's see the attacks. We are going to block. They have a pump spell. It's not even really a question. I think that's the right block. Amazing. Yep. Okay. Alright, our boy comes back in, puts another counter here. Can I get to 13? Okay. This is easy. Land, right? One, 2, 3, 4. Gets us to 9. We draw a card from Scavenger. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way. Just once a turn, right? Okay. Couldn't get to 13. Can play the bat because I want Vendor to possibly win. This is so tense. Okay, so they're playing with the Hexproof, the Shard one. Okay, second Manifold Mouse. I don't think that's good enough. They needed a removal spell. Okay. Hexproof Enchantment and a land. Okay. Yep. 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 Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It is not lethal. And whatever I block... I think that's good enough. Oh no, did I die? I didn't die! I did math bad and I still didn't die. Okay. Our opponent doesn't want to wait for me to do math. Squeegee 45. You don't need that many. Really? Like, how many cars do you have? Maybe you have a lot of windows? There's no card draw here, but there is a lot of damage. So... and it's lifelinking damage if we can manage to have the bat not die. So let's see what we can do. And what we're playing against. Blue-black feels like Dimir controller mid-range. I just told you the sky was blue. Okay. Bat. Pass. Storm Chaser's Talent. Okay. Forest Scavenger. Get in for one. Mirex from our opponent. Flood Pits. Draws two and ditches a card. Neat. Yep. Okay, so couple of choices here. I mean, do I shelter the Overlord? So it drew him a card. The blue Overlord's interesting because for only 2 more mana you get to actually just cast it. So casting it for 3 makes me feel like you're doing something funny. One way or another, this is our land for turn. The question is, where does the Sheltered by Ghost go? And okay, so we're going to... well, because if I should put it on the Scavenger, then I've got 2 lifelinkers. Maybe that's right. I'm sorry that I'm going too slow. I could just take the threat out of the way, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Okay. To me, that means they're playing a slower game. So, are they playing a game that includes board wipes is really the million-dollar question at this point. So each of these is good for +3/+3 at this point. 4 if you count the +1/+1 counters from Scavenger. They're trying to decide. That was not great. Good game anyway. The Gum Tree. It's Gumshoe, if you want to be a detective. And that was a couple of sets ago, so maybe not. Okay. Light on lands. I do have several 2-drops. I think we can make this work. We are on the play. Our opponent's in that Gideon life. Old Gideon. We miss you. Maybe not all of us. Some of us. I was Gideon stan. I definitely, I played a couple of Gideon decks in my day. Especially the 4-drop one from the Zendikar set. Made 2/2s. Was just a great mid-range card. Tilting all of the very good players out there. We're going to show our opponent what color we're playing. Boros again. Another land is fantastic. Spellbook Vendor. We playing Boros Mice again. It's a solid deck. Opponent, you can't play with that that buddy anymore. That pet, that got banned. Did you not hear? You can't play with that anymore. See, I knew it. We're just passing because we're going to unwanted remake our friend here, which may have been a mistake. Oh, they probably are playing with the hexproof one. Play a 2-drop. Play a 2-drop. Play a 2-drop. Oh boy, are we in trouble. Oh, that was very, very poor timing for our opponent. You should not have done that. If that were an untapped land, this would be much more interesting. So... we're just going to use this while we can. I don't think our opponent wants to double block here. So I already have a card draw guy on the field. I'm really kind of feeling like maybe that's not what I want. I have another creature in my hand. Oh, that's tough. I'm going to keep it. I just told you I didn't want to, and then I'm going to. It's a good card. It's a really good card. Once again, I have several options next turn. My opponent had this is a hard moment for them. I'm just gonna assume they're really trying to think through whether or not they want to double block my vendor. I don't think that they do. Yeah, they're doing pretty good. Oh, you know what? I just realized I can play this turn. Okay, do I want another white? Do I want a third? Do I want a second green? That's really tough. I don't think I can cast 3 white spells, so I think we're just going to call that green. Well, that gives us more mana next turn. That definitely changes what we're capable of doing. I guess I could have cast Endurance and Ethereal Armor. Heartfire Hero. Another Sheltered by Ghosts. Here comes the Ruckus. Okay. You can have that 3. Okay. Land. Bunnycorn's a 5/5. I mean, I could go really big with the Spellbook Vendor right now. Actually, they're at 23. I think that's probably not right. Okay. Let's, we already got our card draw, right? Scavenger is very big. Okay, yep. Let's keep that on top. Yep, they're going to kill the Archivist. It's a solid play. I don't hate it. Yep. Bunny's only a 4/4 now. Okay, okay, okay. Feel like we're stable. Cacophony Scamp. I'm afraid that's it, my friend. Scavenger. Oh, I did that backwards. Maybe I didn't. Audacity. Armor. Good game. Okay, friends and opponents, how did we do today? On camera, we had 8 games and we were 6-2, so that is a winning record. I played a lot of games off camera with this deck and have been very successful overall. I can tell you that that this does fairly well in the best of 1 meta due to some of the specific choices for the deck. Obviously, Sheltered by Ghosts is the all-star here. It's an uncommon. If you don't already, burn 4 of those uncommon wild cards to get it because it is fantastic. We played it a lot today. We played against it a lot today. It is perfect in this kind of deck where you have enchantment support of any kind. When you start making copies of it with Calix, because it gets non-land permanents, your opponents usually don't stick around very long when you start to see that. I've made a couple of choices in the deck that are probably questionable. Overlord of the Mistmoors might be a bit too cute. I think that this card's awesome. I can't wait to do the Calix trick where I copy an impended version of this and get an unimpended version. It's going to happen. It just didn't happen today. I think Enduring Innocence is a maybe. So far, I think that it is a yes, but I could definitely be persuaded otherwise. Spellbook Vendor, I think, is pretty solid because it makes an enchantment every turn for the low cost of 1. When you're playing this low to the ground, sometimes that 1 is a little bit more. This deck plays and feels a lot like the Selesnya Enchantment deck of yesteryear. Regal Bunnycorn doing its best impression of Kami of Transience, although it's not a great impression. Optimistic Scavenger doing a pitch-perfect impression of Generous Visitor because it is essentially the same card. But otherwise, we see a lot of the same things. Ethereal Armor gives this deck damage reach for only 1 mana. So we did have a 2-mana version of the spell, similar anyway. This one, it only counts enchantments, which is important to note, different than all that glitters, the old version of this card, or the previous version we ran in a previous season. So I think Valgavoth Slayer is actually sneaky good. Obviously, it entering tap is what makes it so tough in this deck, because there's no way to get it untapped. So, but otherwise, I think the land base does pretty well. I'm not entirely certain that the Fabled Passages work, but Ruin Lurker Bat works with them, which I didn't know until I was playing today. So all in all, I think it's a solid deck. Try it out on the ladder. I think that you will find that you can get somewhere with it and that it can keep up with a lot of the other aggro decks in the format. So that's all that we have for today. Thank you very much for your time and energy sitting with us and playing some Magic today. Please remember to like, subscribe, and leave comments down below to help out the channel. And remember, take care of each other out there. Thanks very much again for watching. We'll see each other again soon.